fifth generation war. The biggest weapon we wield is truth. This is the No Prisoners Podcast with your host, 451 Actual.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. It's the No Prisoners Podcast. It's your boy, 451 Actual. So good to see everybody. Good morning to you. It's a fun Fren Friday. That's right. And you better get down with the sickness because they coming for you with the monkeypox. They coming out of the woodwork. They coming out of the bushes. Literally. Yes. They coming out of the bushes with some of that sickness. And everybody needs to be scared. And don't worry about showing up to a polling location near you because you're going to get lesions. Legions of lesions all over your body. You have to live in fear now. Okay? Trust the same people that told you that COVID was still totally scary and that you needed to go and get that experimental gene therapy into your arm, okay? So if you haven't done that already, make sure you go and get that monkeypox vaccine because it's totally safe and effective. But happy Fun Friend Friday to everybody. And let's go ahead and say good morning to all these awesome monkeypox-free folks. Just a Salty Girl, good morning to you. Good to see you. And she got her in studio as well. If you guys want to join us in here, we got Laura the Goddess, the Gray Man, Just a Salty Girl, hanging out already. Kevin's dropping that link into chat several times, and you guys can just follow that and join along live. Wood Geek, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. We got Nuclear Family of 4 coming in with a cookie, so let's go. Happy Friday, all. Yeah, come on. Yeah, that song that we opened with, I mean, I was down with the sickness, obviously, but Richard Cheese, a.k.a. Dick Cheese, does that. Yeah, it does that song. It sucks that he's a flaming liberal, but other than that, he makes some pretty good music. Let's see. But thank you so much for that cookie. Mr. Tizo said that was awesome. I know, right? What a beautiful way to open a fun Friend Friday. I love that. We got the Gray Man in here, as always. Good to see you. We got Rougarou said, hey, thanks for the staycation, you fags, talking about Joe Biden. And, yeah, man, we're going to be talking about not only the failures of Bidenomics, but Kamala Harris. She got some ideas, man. I don't think it's going to bode too well for anything to do with economics. It seems like they've taken literally what we all learned in grade school about how money works, and they're like, yep, you know what? We're going to do the exact opposite and tell you how great it is. So don't worry. It's only going to get better if she were to win. Of course, we got Laura the Goddess in here. Good to see you as well. Let's see who else we got here this morning. Who else we got here? Okay, we got Kevin in here. There's my lovely lady. Man, so good to see her. Telling you what. And
I'm so glad to see Kevin. I'm so glad you're doing better.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
I have a friend that had perpetual vertigo like that. For some reason, I think he worked for the oil field or something, and he flew a lot more than he should have flown, and his tubes in his ears kind of like bent down and everything like that. There was days that he couldn't even get out of bed. And it was, I mean, he was permanently like that. So I know how you feel, kind of.
Power of prayer.
I'm glad you're better.
All glory to God, man. Power of prayer. I'm telling you what. Because Kevin was out for a couple months last time he had it. And we all started praying like a bunch of badasses, and boom!
I'm going to say it was the power of prayer along with proper nutrition, because years ago when I had it and I was out for like 2 months, my diet was much different. It's like, so in a diet spiritually and diet, you know, as far as like what goes into my body. So yeah, I was very surprised to have had this recovery so quickly. But those greens, man, those sprouts, they are superfood. I mean, yeah. So you add that with the power of prayer, and boom, yes,
boom. Just a Salty Girl coming in with a cookie said, last live stream for a while, got my first shift back, but it's bittersweet because I won't be able to hang with you. Oh man, that's okay.
Why every broadcast.
That's right. Yes, we have the replays, and I think we showed you last episode how to access those. But yeah, yeah, awesome, cool. So yeah, you can always catch the replays, and we will miss you. But it's good to have you here on this Friday. We got QHio17 says, I will not comply. Well, that's good. We got Brad Allen Music. Good to see our base Canadian in the chat. And G-Man, there you are. Good to see you. Mikey Baseball, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. Brad Allen coming in with a can. Said, it's been like a month. Are we still hitting Joe? If so, hit him for me. Yes, indeed we are.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Unfortunately, we are. And hello.
But we have to wait until Kamala Harris is the official nominee. She ain't there yet, but it's looking like that's definitely going to be the case. So we'll see what happens.
She's in the White House, though.
451, can we do a can that skips off every single one of the people they tried to put up?
Yeah.
Like it'd skip off Joe and hit Kamala and then skip off Kamala and hit Obama.
Just a salty girl.
Just
a salty girl. We are already in production. So are you asking us to scrap everything that we've already put together?
Not unless it's really funny.
I have a really good idea. I have a really good idea for the can for Kamala. Don't worry about that. We're gonna have a blast, and it involves a lot of hot dogs. Ranger, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. Good to see you.
It also includes nutrition labels.
Yes, it does. It includes nutrition labels. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let's go ahead and say good morning to everybody that we have in here with us this morning. Again, Just a Salty Girl joining us for the last time live for the foreseeable future. Bittersweet indeed, but glad you got a good shift back. With your
last
schedule.
Night at work, it was so hard. I felt like we were being evicted as they're just ripping down all the machines all around us, and we're pulling up. It's like the end of an era. 9 years I've been working on those machines, and we won't be into the new building until 2026 if we make it there with this economy. But so I go 3 weeks to part sort. And then it's 6 months of training to learn these new machines because they're all AI vision systems, and they are going to be a technical nightmare. But I'm just holding out hope that they won't be as physical, y'all, so that I can just age out gracefully because it's not been good.
Oh, goodness.
But they are going to make residential packs. So I may be able to get one at cost for solar panels.
Oh, okay.
So that might be good in the future.
Yeah. Well, it's great to have you again. Thank you so much for being here. Laura, how are you this morning?
Fantastic. How are you this morning? I'm blessed and highly favored. How is everyone? God bless everyone. I'm actually happy to be awake and alive, as usual. Just another day that the Lord has given us.
Yes.
I'm doing good. I looks like everybody else is doing good too, and I'm so glad to see Kevin back. As a matter of fact, I was anxious to see Kevin back because I was anxious to hear his take on the VP pick for the other side, because since that's his governor up there.
We already thanked him for his governor, for giving us this wonderful governor.
Is he really that creepy? He seems like one of the he seems like one of those kids in high school that people would shove in the locker and stick his head in the toilet, you know?
That sounds like all the Dems, though, really, doesn't it?
A lot of them, especially the ones without any kind of self realization or anything.
He is straight
Revenge
up
of the Nerds.
Exactly.
He is not a cool dad, and not by my assessment, not a cool dad, not a cool governor. I mean, this guy did nothing during the George Floyd riots, and then when COVID came around, it's like, well, they were pretty much like, they were so close together. He sent out the National Guard to shoot at people for hanging out on their porches.
I heard. Wait. Somebody debunked that. That was actually
no. That's not. That is
Supposedly
not
right
a
after
lie. It's like he had alerts going out on cell phones, like curfew things. We were in lockdown. It's
I would
like
know that.
you couldn't be out on the streets.
Sit on your porch.
But what is
And-
up with your police, Kevin? That they were
They burned
operating
down
so
the precinct.
tyrannically.
They burned down the precinct in Minneapolis, like in Southwest Minneapolis, and the precinct which served our area in District 5 was freaking burned. I mean, and then the people were just allowed to like run rampant and everything like that.
So
The neighborhood I
Joe
left.
So
Rogan
the
was
cops were
wrong.
mad at the people?
Joe Rogan was wrong. Then he mentioned that film of people getting shot with the paintballs was right after the Boston bombing.
What?
These things. Well, I have something to say. They weren't paintballs. It's like no, there were actually like people. It got like really really chaotic in Minneapolis. I mean, it.
Yes.
Yeah, I bet it did.
What were they like?
As a matter of fact,
I-
that whole square isn't that whole square where
It's
George
not
Floyd
just the
got arrested?
square.
Isn't it like all like demolished? All the stores are gone. Everything's all boarded up. It's all.
Yes, I am.
With the exception of maybe the place like the cup foods or like whatever that is. That's like in
All
that
right, you
area.
two, get a room.
Yeah, but I'm
It's-
shocked, Kevin, how those police acted to citizens on their porch. Doesn't matter when it happened. What is maybe the whole police force does need gutted there, because if they will fire on citizens on their property, that is crazy.
I shouldn't
Look.
care where it came from, but like I say, everybody was talking about it yesterday.
Not all of the Minneapolis police are bad. It's like there are bad actors in almost every precinct.
Hold on.
Throughout any
that's
police district you go through.
But
We
that
have
whole group
really
just went along with the playbook. It was shocking.
We have really bad politicians in Minnesota. Amy
Yeah, and you got
Klobuchar,
Omar again.
Ilhan
Congratulations.
Omar is absolutely terrible for Minneapolis. Governor Walz is a straight up communist. I mean, snitch lines. What? It's like we had snitch lines. That really happened. Your phone would like, if you didn't remove the software which was being updated via the firmware, your phone, if you had a phone, would ping
Whitmer did
whoever
that
you came in contact with and say, "Oh, well, this person has COVID. Now you've been tagged."
Yeah,
as
that's
possibly
when I
having
got
COVID.
my Faraday bag and started putting my phone in my Faraday bag when I went out, so it wouldn't ping off other people's phones.
Wow.
And
It's for your own
plus
safety.
Plus with the snitch line and everything, it's like
I mean, you guys
Yeah,
thought all
that's-
that was bad? You guys thought all that was bad? How's about Taco Gate, huh? Tim Walz starting us off with some Taco Gate, guys. Have you heard about this? If you listen, the reason why we're bringing this up is like if these people will lie and gaslight over the smallest things. What is she barking at? Then prepare for the gaslighting and the lies to get even more intense. Got it?
Is anybody here even listening to these things anymore?
No,
I've
but
pretty
this is
much-
pretty funny.
Okay.
This is pretty funny. Oh, okay. All right. So here's the really racist, kind of cringy thing that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz put out just to kind of get us started today. White people don't use spices is the Harris campaign's message with just 82 days until Election Day. Kamala Harris and her running mate, Stolen Valor Tim Walz, won't speak to the press, but they will post a racist, cringy chat on YouTube. We're not going to get into the transcript that Gateway Pundit likes to put on every single one of their videos. We'll just go ahead and play it. Here you go. Take a listen to this.
Like I have white guy tacos and
What does
like
that
black,
mean? Like mayonnaise and tuna? What are you doing?
pretty much ground beef and cheese.
That's
and
okay. Do you put any flavor in it?
No.
Oh.
Here's the deal.
Oh.
Like
I'm so
mayonnaise and
white.
mayonnaise and tuna. That's the
like a tuna
stereotypical like racist thing
person
that this
taco.
Indian is going to you put any curry on it? No? Well, what's wrong with you?
Okay to beat up on us.
No, they said to be careful and let her know this, that black pepper is the top of the spice level in Minnesota, you know.
I'm the first vice president, I believe, who
How
has
you feel about
ever
that,
grown
Kevin?
chili peppers.
I'm trying to
You know,
expand
we'll figure
my
that-
food knowledge.
You know, we've got some cantaloupes. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
How much did this cost us?
That's not a taco. That's a tuna sandwich.
And how much did this cost us?
Hold on.
Retarded much?
Was he talking about the horse mail?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. He only likes the equestrian spices, if you know what I mean.
You're trying to be all off script like Trump, and it ain't going well.
No. It's not. So what's even better about this is it actually turns out that it's a lie. Tim Walcott, in another lie, claims that he uses no spices on tacos, but previously won a competition using multiple spices in a taco recipe.
What a fucking phony!
Why is
Oh
it
my
the
God.
dumb stuff?
So much
It's
bullshit.
not that he's dumb. It's that he's a racist. He
He's
is
a
a
liar.
pandering, racist, commie, lying sack
con
of
people.
garbage.
Yes. This is why I'm bringing this up, guys. Like, the whole
diarrhea.
thing is a charade, and they don't care at this point if you go back and, you know, the Gateway pundit goes and finds this fact that, oh, yeah, guess what? Tim Walz is lying about that. They don't care anymore. They're going to continue to lie and continue to pander and just bank on the fact that, you know, that Kathy Hochul comment where black people don't know how to use the internet. But they'll make sure that this little YouTube video gets injected in front of everybody, believe me, because when I open YouTube, it was right there in the front. We'll say again.
They lie about all this little stuff. Can you imagine what else they're lying about? Like really
Exactly.
Everything
Exactly.
that comes out of their mouths, it is all a show.
Nuclear family of
scripted.
Nuclear family of four says, I love spice. I must be black. Or at least I can identify as black. Yeah, go get yourself some reprinations, man. Get you some of them reprinations. All you got to do is get in there and say, look, I go beyond black pepper. Okay, so you're going to have to go ahead and give me some money.
Don't tell
If
people
Rachel
in
Dolezal
Louisiana
can do it,
that they
so
don't
can you.
use spice. As a matter of fact, that's how I learned
Man.
to use cayenne pepper.
I'm just saying,
vanilla.
Kevin,
like
as a
garlic,
Minnesotan, right? As a white Minnesotan,
Oofta.
do you use anything beyond black pepper?
I love the Harvey Korman reference there. Poofta. Blazing
Do I
saddles.
what black pepper?
Do you use
Use.
anything beyond black pepper? Is this like is this a true thing? Like that's the
Yes.
peak of the seasoning
No.
scale? Oh, okay.
No, and I'm
offended.
German and Greek. I'm Bavarian, German, and Greek, and I grow habanero.
Opa.
I grow
That doesn't
chilies
matter.
and things
Yeah,
like that.
unless
It's
they're
and I
throwing
process
those
them. I use them in
Unle-
food.
unless
Kevin, are
those
your
labels came
habanero
from the
proper?
Democrat Party, you're not allowed to use them. Okay?
My
You're just a
habaneros
white
are
Minnesotan.
poppin'.
Was it air
Are
cracker?
yours?
I
Kevin?
am only a transplant to Minnesota, number one. And Salty Girl, what's up with your obs?
Are your habaneros doing excellent this year? Mine are just going crazy.
See, and that's the thing is like, number one, to answer your first question, I've started a new crop downstairs in my grow area. And number two, yours are going crazy because you followed the advice from earlier this year when you were
Yes,
having
I
difficulty.
did.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. There's green thumbs abounding in this
They
network of
changed it.
people and
Yeah,
friends,
they
I
did.
must say.
Hey, look, y'all, if y'all ever need any gardening tips or grow tips, this is the fam to come to. I'm telling
Yeah,
you what.
I'm
I
telling
started tarping up the peppers so they weren't getting so much water because that's what you and Miss Green Thumb were saying. And oh my God, they went nuts after that. Took the
Mhm.
netting off so that they could pollinate. They're crazy now. In fact, today I'm making
good.
hot sauce.
Yes.
Yum. That's what's up. All right.
And for a while there, you
Um,
thought, may I just say one thing before we go on?
Yes.
For a while there, you were having blossom drop. and you were about to lose. Yeah,
That sounds dirty.
yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that was just too much water.
There you go.
You
Well,
were
I'm glad you
drowning
remedied
him.
the situation. Mm-hmm.
That will happen. All right. Well, and here's another lie. CNN catches Tim Walz' campaign in a major lie about his past arrest. Oh, yeah, you guys didn't know he got arrested. As Democrats have made the gamble on Minnesota Governor Tim Walz to run with current Vice President Kamala Harris in November, conservatives have a long list of Walz' shortcomings, unless it's a horse, as an elected official to blast him for. Hey-o. Additionally,
Now,
Walz' career in the military and frequent lies about his rank.
Semen,
Yes.
regarding the horse semen, there is a high
Whether it's
probability
true or not.
Okay.
It's funny.
Own it then.
I'm
yes.
gonna say it every time because it's that funny.
It's that funny. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. If he's gonna lie about taco seasoning, all right. If he's gonna take one for the pandering team and get like denigrated over his rates, like mayo and tuna. If you're gonna take that, then I'm gonna make fun of you for getting your stomach pumped of horse liquids, because you're a freak. So anyway,
Scientifically, semen. We can be scientific. Okay, yeah.
yeah, semen. Walz's career in the military and frequent lies about his rank indicate he has a habit of distorting his past. On Tuesday, CNN found another instance of Walz's past being misrepresented, this time concerning a 1995 DUI arrest. Wow, another alcoholic. No wonder Nancy Pelosi and Kamala Harris and all the other alcoholics in Washington, D.C. really want this guy on board. Walz, 31 at the time, working as a high school teacher and a coach, was pulled over for going 96 miles an hour in a 55 in Chadron, Nebraska. The state trooper who stopped him smelled alcohol and transported him to a hospital where he was issued a field sobriety test. His blood alcohol level was 0.128. The legal limit was 0.1. In March of 1996, Walz admitted to drinking and driving during a court hearing. After a plea deal, Walz pleaded guilty to reckless driving. The story here comes from how Walz and his campaign represented this in 2006. That year, Walz ran in Minnesota's 1st District for the U.S. House of Representatives. In September, a blog posted information about the DUI, which prompted a response from his campaign. From CNN's findings, the excuse made for why Walz was incoherent with the arresting officer stemmed from his poor hearing due to military service.
His
I got blown up.
Due to military service, where was he ever active? Was he ever active?
No, he was a nasty girl the whole time.
Ugh.
National Guard, for those of you guys that don't know what that means. We call them nasty girls. Communication director for the Walz campaign, Meredith Salisbury, said he couldn't understand what the trooper was telling him during the field sobriety test, and the trooper refused to speak up. Okay. Salisbury continued, the judge would not have dismissed them, the DUI charges, if there was anything to them. Tim drove to the police station that night after being stopped, and then he drove himself home afterwards. I don't think the trooper would have allowed that if he thought there was a problem. What about the speeding? In court in 1996, Walz's attorney tried to say that he felt like he was being pursued and sped up after realizing that it was a state trooper behind him on the trooper turning on his lights. This is all just nonsense. There's a copy of the ticket. It mentions Walz being under the influence on page 3. Walz admitted to being drunk and that he did not drive himself to the police station. Cody Thomas, a spokesperson for the Nebraska State Police, spoke to CNN to clarify that Walz would not be allowed to drive himself. Under NSP procedure, a person suspected of impaired driving is not allowed to continue driving. Granted, this is all information Walz later admitted to. While running for governor in 2018, he owned up to the facts, now seeing that night as a life-changing event. What we can take away from all this is the exposure Walz has been getting since becoming the VP nominee is nothing new. It is a pattern. Anyone who overcomes addiction deserves commending, but why not tell the truth to begin with? So anyway,
that's
more
one
lies.
of the first things that you're actually required to do to recover.
Yep.
You take responsibility. Believe me, I've been through
Imagine
2
that.
of them.
That
Imagine
shouldn't
that.
just been a DUI. That should have been reckless driving as well.
Well, that's what he pled to. They
It
didn't give him the
was.
DUI because he pled to reckless driving.
That's bullshit.
Also,
Yep.
too, I was going to say, I know that there are some cops out there that are extremely enamored of service people. I used to date a Vietnam veteran, and all he had to do was point out his DV plates, and it seemed like the cops were like, oh, licking his boots.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Mad Hat 1 says, "G'day, mates. Stop picking on my worthless governor. He called out Trump for criticizing his military record, but Walls' own commander and mates were the ones who called him out." Yes, exactly.
That's so true.
Exactly.
I don't think Trump ever mentioned it until J.D. Vance did, and he has every right to because he served as well.
That's
I have
right.
a question.
Go ahead.
Why do we have so many people from Minnesota in this family? Yet
Because you.
Minnesota is considered blue. What is
Minnesota.
going on?
Isn't that just actually? Isn't it just your big cities that make the whole state blue?
I think it is actually just Minneapolis. It can't be St. Paul. St. Paul is too blue collar to be Democratic.
Well,
That's like
if they're
Washington State.
union though, most union people vote blue. All they're kind of forced to in a way. I know that my friends that were in any kind of unions were always told they have to vote for the Democrat.
Not this
Yep.
year. All the union people said that they're going to buck their leadership and they're voting Trump.
We'll see.
That would be an interesting turn of events, that's for sure.
It was
All right.
actually kind of surprised that the leader of the Teamsters was in the RNC this year. That was
That's a big one. That's a big one. That's a big shift to the
because
workers there.
Those guys, well, my stepfather worked with those guys, and when he got hurt, they did not want to pay workers' comp and all this other stuff. I mean, these guys were following me and my sister to school.
These
You know what I
Teamsters
mean?
are like organized crime.
Yeah.
All right.
My stepdad went through a whole bunch of shit because, and he actually got hurt at work. He worked on the loading dock and a box fell on his head and crushed the vertebrae in his neck. Yeah, it was like 175-pound box right on top of his head, man. And
Wow.
It took him like 9 or 10 years just to get somebody to write him off so he could get disability. But this is how much the Teamsters went against just one man for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'd look
That's
out
wild.
the window and there'd be a white van sitting across from our house that didn't belong in the neighborhood.
Yeah, they'll watch and see like if you're faking your injury or whatever, and they'll come after you for it. Like they'll go straight to they're like narcs, dude. It's crazy. That's not the first time I've heard that. Like these guys will stalk you. Like if you get injured on the job and you need the use of a cane, like if they catch you not using a cane, they will photograph the shit out of you and bring it up like in all the proceedings and everything. Like they are wild, man. They're wild. So yeah,
well,
it's
they
pretty,
just
pretty
they do
interesting.
they pay more money to catch you than they would to pay you.
Exactly.
I'm saying it's crazy, but it's
Yep.
They really use like mafioso tactics. It's
Exactly.
I was in junior high school. Can you imagine junior high school kid? Because I was followed by crazies all the time. We would have. There was this one guy that used to drive down the street where all the kids would walk to school because it was the main drag, and he would literally drive down the street with his dick in his hand.
Oh my god.
Flipping it and showing it to all the kids.
They used to do that at our school too, Laura.
Yeah.
They roll the elementary schools. It was disgusting.
Well, the junior high was right next to the elementary school right there. So, all of the kids from all those age groups was going right there and walking to school. We still walk to school, but imagine having that and then seeing a white van following you.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
I'm imagining it right now and I'm not liking it.
It was crazy.
It's not selling ice cream.
It was scary as hell. It was
We
scary
were
as
very
hell.
aware of our surroundings.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, you guys know that we've been covering the Starliner disaster, where these astronauts who were supposed to be on an 8-day mission have been there instead for 8 weeks. Well, not some very good news for these two. Kevin thinks they're already dead.
I think they're already dead.
I do too.
Ground control to Major Tom.
Yeah, so there's a couple of options that these folks, if they're still alive, have, and what it's kind of leaning to is, I think that they're going to try to end up putting these two on the Starliner and just see what happens. Like, that's kind of like how it's going, but the odds of them dying pretty high.
Is that a man or a woman on the right?
That's okay. They're old.
Supposedly a woman.
woman?
That's Kamala Harris and Nikki Haley had a baby, and that's what happened.
Oh my word! She's got to be. Keep the image there. Hold on. One moment. Expand. That has got to be the oldest grandma. Look at her.
Dude, that is not a woman.
She's old. Doesn't matter.
No,
That's what space does to you.
I think that's, or either that is an old woman, or that is her hair. I think that's a woman because the brow.
It is a woman.
Look at the hands.
Allegedly.
But
Allegedly.
that woman
They
must
have the
have.
same body type.
They're in a suit.
Yeah, they do.
I
Salty
know,
girl.
but still.
Wait a minute.
That don't look like a woman.
Why is he carrying a rose? What's going on over there? Did they carry the roses into their space capsule as like they knew
Into
they
their
were going to
coffin?
memorial service?
Yeah, they shoved it into the thrusters.
Look at the names. I wonder if the one on
They
the
carry
right
the
named
rose to their
Butch.
coffin.
Okay, let's see.
That's
Okay,
Suni.
pilot Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore. You know what? I bet they're terminal patients there. And
This is
at
what
the
happens
end
when
of
you let a
life.
woman drive.
These
I'm
are-
just saying.
Well, that's, and then you lose control of your freaking spacecraft. And you know what they need? You know what they need, 45-1? You know what they need?
Yeah.
They need someone up there with a nice circular saw to go help them out.
I'm telling you what. All right. So here's the story. Again, not looking good for these two, but NASA just, I guess, going to send it. You wouldn't get on a plane if your probability of not making it home alive was 1 in 270. Those odds, however, are what NASA considers an acceptable LOC, or loss of crew projection, for a 210-day stay aboard the ISS. Beating that mortal math was very much on the minds of NASA officials at an August 14th press conference, during which they discussed the agency's efforts to ensure the survival of Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams, the two astronauts currently stranded aboard the ISS. Wilmore and Williams left Earth on June 5th, aiming for a mere 8-day flight of Boeing's new Starliner spacecraft, a brief ISS stay that would certify the ship for future missions and give the United States a much-needed additional option if SpaceX's Crew Dragon spacecraft, which has been ferrying astronauts to the ISS since 2020, ever has to go offline. Before the Starliner crew even reached the ISS, 5 of the spacecraft's thrusters began misfiring, and the supply of gaseous helium that keeps the thrusters pressurized sprang 5 different leaks. Crew and ship made it to the station intact, but the 8-day mission has now stretched to more than 8 weeks as Boeing and NASA troubleshoot the problem and determine if the Starliner is safe to carry the two back home. Last week, NASA revealed that it is considering an extreme contingency plan that would involve flying the Starliner home empty. A SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft intended to carry 4 people for a 5-month station stay beginning in September would instead just be launched with a crew of 2, leaving the other 2 seats empty to bring Williams and Wilmore back home in February. We still believe in Starliner's capability and its flight rationale, Boeing said in an August 7th statement after that possible plan was announced. 1 week later, at the August 14th press conference, it became clear that NASA might not have nearly as much faith in the new ship's mettle. Instead, Ken Bowersox, Associate Administrator of NASA's Space Operations Mission Directorate, announced that before the end of August, NASA will hold a high-level readiness review to make a final determination on Starliner's fate. That compressed schedule is due partly to the limited life of Starliner's batteries. While they are designed to hold power for just 45 days, ever since that 6+ week period elapsed, they have been getting recharged by the station, but there's only so much of that powering that they can take before failing altogether. It's a fairly major decision about whether we're going to have a crew on board for a Starliner return, Bowersock said at the press conference. We've got time available before we bring Starliner home, and we want to be able to use that time wisely. We're expecting to get the data analysis will be ready for a flight readiness review around the end of next week, potentially beginning of the following week. In the meantime, Boeing finds itself in the hot seat. The first flight of Starliner came 7 years after its initially promised 2017 launch, and the ship has cost $1.5 billion more than the original $4.2 billion contract that NASA awarded the company. We've had very honest discussions with each other, Bowersock said about NASA and Boeing. They have confidence in their vehicle. That's what we would like from them. But what the NASA team thinks is important, and when we get to that decision, we'll work through it together. So, yeah, man.
They're literally squatting up there in the space station.
Thank God Boeing's on it. It's a miracle. I mean, the door stayed on that thing.
Yeah, no, it didn't.
Oh, it didn't?
No, it didn't. It didn't. No, it didn't. Here, look, I'll show you. So funny you said that.
They're getting
let's see.
from the space station.
Starliner door pops off. Here you go, Great Man. This is them transporting it to put it on top of the rocket, by the way.
I forgot about that.
No, the door definitely came off. That's so funny. Oh, man. I would have never, ever gotten on board that thing, man. But, hey, kudos to those two if they're still alive, and God be with them if they have to strap their asses back into it and re-enter the atmosphere with it, because, man, no thanks. No.
Wasn't Elon going to attempt a rescue mission?
Well, that's what they're saying, is that they're supposed to have a 4-person launch. I think it's Crew 5 in September. And what they're saying is that instead what they'll do is they'll just undock the Starliner, send it back through the atmosphere without anybody on it. And then the Crew Dragon will show up with only 2 people so that the other 2 can ride back with them. But that means that
they'll hate that.
Exactly. Yeah, they really will. But again, it's like, why? I understand the contingency, like have a fallback with Boeing just in case, the Crew Dragon were to ever have to go offline or fail. But, I mean, Boeing, really? No, thanks. I'm good on that. All right. Coming to San Francisco, viral video shows sublethal remote gun protecting commercial buildings. This is awesome, by the way. I totally want 4 of these for my house. And we're going to put some pepper balls in mine. South Africa ranks 3rd in Africa on the Global Organized Crime Index. Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Durban are among the most dangerous cities in the country, suffering from high levels of violent crime, carjackings, robberies, and murders. Given the South African government's inability to protect individuals and businesses from the chaos, one South African company has developed a non-lethal remote control gun mounted on light poles that shoots intruders. Johannesburg-based Sublethal developed the non-lethal remote control gun that fires a standard .68 caliber paintballs with solid nylon bullets or pepper balls. This weapon is frequently used in security in South Africa and internationally where non-lethal force should be used, Sublethal wrote on its website. A video of the weapon in use in South Africa has gone viral on X in the past day, garnering more than 5 million views. Here you go.
This device will protect your house. Made in South Africa, it's a special kind of gun that doesn't hurt people badly. Instead, it shoots a soft 17mm bullet like the ones police use to stop riots. You can control it using your cell phone or a special security room. This way, you can stop intruders from getting into your home without hurting them too much. Now you know.
Yeah, I know. How about I put a 45 ACP handgun onto that thing with a fucking 12-round magazine. You know what I'm saying?
So
Like, can I
they have
in
this
Minecraft.
high-tech weapon, and they're controlling it with a brick phone.
That's what I said too, dude. Like, look at the South African cell phone technology in this video. Like, you're controlling this thing with like a Nokia flip. Like, what is going on here? Let's see. Where is this? Oh, come on, don't do this to me right now. You suck. Try this again. Yeah, I noticed that shit too. It's like, oh, wait a minute. You can control it with your cell phone, or you can dial up your bomb on this untrackable frickin' thing here. That right there. You know, when you're not shooting intruders, you can play Snake. All right. Anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. Little home security device. Like I said, I'll take 4. I'll just mount them up where my current security cameras are at, and just go to town. You know what I'm saying?
They finally discovered that cameras don't do shit.
Right. Yeah, you got to put little guns on them, and then they do shit. All right. Let's see. What else does this say? Sublethal noted the remote gun will not autonomously shoot anyone. The gun is controlled either from a control center or from the user's cell phone. Either way, there is a human who decides when to shoot. It's only a matter of time before this non-lethal remote control gun mounted on light poles finds its way into commercial yards across the United States, giving the Democrats an ability to uphold common sense law and order. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
That shirt on the left. Go back up. Yeah, that's you right there. You should.
That is totally me. That is totally me. You're absolutely right. I think they know that, too. They're like, hey, you'd like this.
Yeah, apparently you'd like those ladies in those bikinis. Feisty, slap him.
I didn't click on anything like that.
Wait a minute. Wait a moment.
Timu.
Hey, man, why are you trying to start shit with them already?
I'm not. I'm thinking Christmas is coming. You've been shopping for Feisty, haven't you?
You just told her to slap him.
I know. I'm schizophrenic a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So
now I get it.
These are secret gifts. These are secret gifts coming. Okay, good.
Not anymore.
That's what I do. I garden drink and I know things.
There you go.
Oh, I need that sign.
See? Yeah, get yourself a margarita out there in the hot Texas sun. I'm telling you what. There you go.
Tequila and sunburn don't mix.
Oh, man. Ranger said, I'll take one in 6.5 Creedmoor or 4. Yes, exactly. All right. Tennessee law triggers anxiety for school nurses who fear they could lose their license for treating students. Families' Rights and Responsibilities Act requires school staff to receive parental approval before rendering medical treatment or counseling to students. Some school nurses and other education officials in Tennessee say a new law requiring parental consent before rendering medical or psychological treatment to students has left them scratching their heads in need of clarity. The new Families' Rights and Responsibilities Act, yes?
May I just say, before we get too far into this,
yes,
the whiskey capitalists are in Rumble right now.
Oh. Well.
Particularly Sean. So, good morning, Sean.
Hello, Sean.
Hello.
Let me,
Yeah, they're working and lurking, so I just wanted to point that out. If you guys haven't
whiskey
capitalists, please, you can find them on Pilled, the Whiskey Capitalists. You can find them on other platforms as well. But Pilled, we promote Pilled here.
Yeah, we miss you guys on Fun Friend Fridays, huh? Oh, yeah, we'll be on every other Friday. Yeah? You sure about that? Huh? You sure about that, feller?
Do we know what being busy is about? Yeah.
Yes, I do know what being busy is about. I'm just teasing them. They know we love them. I show up and lurk from time to time. I don't always say something, but I do listen in. Sometimes I'm listening in through Tweak as well, because he's usually always there. All right. A violation of this practice. Okay, here we go. The new Families' Rights and Responsibilities Act bars government entities or healthcare providers from treating, operating on, diagnosing, offering prescriptions, or rendering psychological counseling to children without first obtaining parental consent, except in emergency situations. A violation of Yeah, a violation of this practice is an unlawful practice and is grounds for the offending healthcare provider's licensing authority to suspend, revoke, or refuse to renew the healthcare provider's license or take other disciplinary action allowed by law, the law's text reads. The measure went into full effect in July, just in time for the start of this school year, leading some nurses to wonder to what extent they can tend to students in non-emergency situations without facing consequences. School nurses in particular, they weren't consulted on this. J.C. Bowman, CEO of the Professional Educators of Tennessee, told Fox News Digital on Wednesday. In his capacity, Bowman represents and interacts with nurses, teachers, and other members of the education community across the volunteer state. He believes there are good components of the bill, but some areas still need work. There's a nursing shortage right now, and a couple of nurses that I've talked to, one of the things that they were telling me is, look, I can go right over to HCA and make $100,000. One of them actually left and went to the VA and is making...
One moment.
Yes?
Something's going on. Stream disconnected from Pilled.
What? Oh, what happened there?
Let me check.
Well, that was unexpected. Yes, indeed.
Hold on.
Yeah, it says unable to connect on Restream side.
Let's see.
Let me reset it.
Yeah.
Okay, yep. It says sending data.
Unable to connect.
Uh-oh. Let's check and see if Pilled is...
They didn't like something we said.
I don't think that would happen with Pilled. Let's see. Let me see if anybody else
Pilled,
is.
Restream.
Oh, yeah, it could be.
No. Restream is streaming to everything else that it needs to be streaming to.
Well, Pilled is still working.
I have Rumble up right now. I see it. It seems to be working.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like
What
it's
happened
coming
there?
back up. It looks like it's coming back up. Right, let's see.
Yeah, I don't see the reconnected thing.
Yeah, I don't either.
Not yet.
Oh, here we go. Sending data again.
Yeah, I just reset it.
Streaming. We're back.
There, now it says streaming.
Yeah, all of a sudden I had Jimmy Dore yelling in my ear.
I did too.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
All right.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. That was weird. Not sure what that was about. Okay. Continuing on. All right. Let's see. I'll just read this paragraph again. There's a nursing shortage right now, and a couple of nurses that I've talked to, one of the things that they were telling me is, look, I can go right over to HCA and make $100,000. One of them actually left and went to the VA and is making like $116,000. And she said, I'm not doing this anymore, working as a school nurse. But they come in and become school nurses, and they love the kids. They love the reason for doing it and coming there. But what you're going to see, I think, is the trickle-down effect where nurses and particular guidance counselors as well, even teachers, are going to start walking away from the field because they don't want to make a mistake. They don't want to inadvertently do something, and then all of a sudden they're in serious trouble and involved in the court system. Bowman said she knows other nurses who are looking to leave as well. Without specific guidelines regarding what constitutes an emergency under the law as it is written, some wonder whether simple measures like offering a student a Band-Aid for a bleeding wound is a step too far and could have repercussions. State Senator Farrell Hale, a Republican who sponsored the bill, could not be reached for comment in the time of publication. But previously told Fox 17 he doesn't believe concerns that nurses could have their licenses pulled will play out. What we're looking at is the best interest for the child. Nurses in schools have the best interest for the child, he said. Hale also said the legislation aimed to put parents in control of their child's physical and mental health treatments at school, and he's open to changing the law if more questions emerge. State Representative Jeremy Faison, another Republican, also spoke positively of the bill, saying it puts into law that parents truly have the right for the direction of their children and their life. Another local outlet said Tennessee Governor Bill Lee noted that the changes to the law may be warranted. You see that happen in the General Assembly a lot, Lee said. There will be a law passed. The next year, there will be an adjustment made to the law. The next year, there may be another adjustment because anticipating every outcome is not always possible. Well, don't you think that maybe consulting the school nurses might have been a way to mitigate that? I don't know. As of now, parents have to sign a waiver so their child can receive non-emergency care at school. The same report quoted the Tennessee Association of School Nurses Executive Board as calling for changes to that policy, writing in part, "Our recommendation for lawmakers would be to change the language from active consent to an option to opt out." Republican State Senator Kevin Raper, who also co-sponsored the bill, however, believes the wording is fine as is. "I'm content with how it's worded. Sometimes you can say way too much, and then it opens yourself to all kinds of litigation," he said. So what are your guys' thoughts on this with this consent?
So the school nurses are afraid of losing their jobs for doing shady shit. So they decided to go to the VA where they can do all the shady shit they want.
Thank you.
Yes, essentially.
All that transition stuff starts with the school nurse and the counselor anyway.
Right.
I say leave them out of the damn schools.
Yeah.
Call parents, tell them to come pick up the kid and save us damn money.
Yeah. Yeah. If they go to the VA, at least they don't have access to kids at that point.
Yeah, that's
So
a good point.
I've always had to sign whether I want my kids to be treated or not. As a matter of fact, when I did registration this year, it was the same thing. Opt out. And guess what? I opted out because I don't want them giving my kids whatever the hell they feel like. That includes vaccinations, which I also got a text message saying, "Hey, we have a free vax clinic." Da, da, da. I'm like, "Hey, guess what?
You can keep it."
Not doing it. You can keep it. Exactly. So I'm fine with this. Yeah, you can put a Band-Aid on them, but you're not going to put anything else on them or do anything else on, to them, let alone indoctrinating. So they're worried about Band-Aids. Bullshit. Don't
Our
even
school
go there.
nurse couldn't even put a Band-Aid on us, Feisty. They had to hand it to us, and we had to put it on. They couldn't even give us ibuprofen.
And that's fine
so
then.
what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Well, you scraped your knee. Here, take some hormone blockers.
Right. See?
Rub some dirt in it.
And that's what it's making me wonder because, during the pandemic, there were a bunch of these signs put up around the school, and they don't have them this year and stuff either, but there were signs put up around the school stating, "Oh, we're a safe place. If you have anything to talk about, you can come talk to us. Anything going on at home, come talk to us about it." Because they want to know that. They don't want us in the picture, but yet they want us in the picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they want little informants. Hey, look at this lady's eye in this ad. She's got them crazy eyes, Feisty. Look at I don't know what she's saying, but she got them crazy eyes.
It says crazy.
Yeah. Well, what do you know? I teach my kids though to trust no one. Not the teachers, not the counselors, not the principal, not the cops, not doctors, none of them. I don't want them putting their trust in them. Because exactly, look at what happens. Look at where the whole, the trans movement and all of that stuff is coming from, is from the schools, from the teachers and stuff. No, thank you. Thank God I don't have to worry about that with my kids because pretty much everybody there is a Christian. Thank God for that.
Whatever happened to question authority? That's how I grew up.
Yes, exactly. I'm not raising sheep. I want them to question everything. I don't want them to trust these people because they're more. I mean, look at all the cops that are coming out, all the teachers, the counselors, the judges, your coaches and stuff that are pedophiles.
Yeah. Well, what's to say that these people aren't also talking these children into thinking that they're being abused at home, that they can't.
Oh yeah, they do
That's
a lot
exactly
of that, Laura.
it too.
They do a lot.
And I'm going to say this:
turn them into outcasts or make them think that this treatment is right, and
you're not wrong because I remember my middle son was going to speech therapy, which I'm like, enough is enough. He doesn't need to go anymore. He's if anything, him being in it is taking him away from his regular class, which he's incredibly smart. And so it's getting him behind. And I'm like, I've had enough of this. But yeah. I had went in for a meeting to talk to them. And he had made the comment about being tired one day because he fell asleep on his sister's floor. And she's like, oh, yeah, it's concrete. And I'm like, no, it's not. There's not concrete anywhere in that house. She's got hardwood floors in her bedroom. That's not concrete. It's a 2-story house. You know what I mean? And I was just like, you need to keep your nose where it belongs. If my son falls asleep somewhere, it's just fine. You can kiss my ass. These are my children, not yours. I carried them for 9 months in my womb, and I pushed them out. Thank you very much.
I used to sleep on my hardwood floor in my house as a kid all the time. Like, seriously, I laid right down on that bastard and slept, man. Yeah.
It's just, that's what they want, though. They want to be involved in every single which way they can to try and rip your children from you. It's a thing. Yep. I mean, I was a foster parent. You know, I have my foster license. So being in that ends of it and seeing how they are and, you know, the counseling and stuff, like that's a good way to groom children. Let's just put it that way. And there's no way on God's green earth I would go out guns ablaze, and if any of them tried to come for my kids, it'd be the last thing that they did and be the last thing that I do, but I'll die fighting for them.
Amen. All right. Anything else on that? Oh, we got 5 minutes to commercial. Well, good. We'll go ahead and run it now. We will go ahead and run it now. All right, guys. Well, if you guys are over there on the other platforms, please make your way over to pilled.net. That's where we're going to be doing the rest of Fun Friend Friday. Again, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Make sure you hit the like button and share this bad boy out if you wouldn't mind. Those of you guys that are already over here on Pilled, make sure you've hit that red pill and the repost buttons. Every single one of those helps the show immensely. So please do that here while we're watching this commercial for our Rise International t-shirt, the Glitch Drip 451. And more of these designs coming out. We're at 921 followers over on Pilled. And we're going to be doing a merch launch and a website launch at 1,000. So you guys share that link out. Let people know that we're here kicking ass on this Fun Friend Friday. And we'll get this bad boy rolling. We'll see you guys on the other end. Make sure, again, you head to pilled.net, search for No Prisoners Podcast, and join us for the rest of the show. If not, we'll see you guys on Monday. Later.